Hey guys, this is Kristen at Cooking in the County, and I know it's been a hot minute since I've done a video, but I have been crazy busy this last month, last 2 months. I started this little home business of cooking meals for moms that are really busy, and it has just blown up. Not only have I been doing meals like once a week, I do a different meal each week, but I also have been busy with birthday cakes and whoopie pies. So life has been really crazy. And I haven't gotten to my YouTube videos. And I love doing my YouTube videos. Those were the first things I started with, and I want to continue. But YouTube videos take time. Just a few little 8-10 minutes that you watch probably take your YouTube creators 2 days to do, prepare, get it all together, edit. So appreciate your YouTube channel creators. So today I have a few minutes to throw something together, and I wanted to make this for my family. So I said this would be a great YouTube video, and I'm going to do that for you today. And this is called my Good for What Ails You soup. Now, this is a squash soup with a bunch of other little things into it. You know how we all take recipes and change it and add it and do all this. So this is like a combination of about 3 recipes that I've tried, and we put it all together, and now this is the soup. My family used to love this when they didn't feel good. They thought this would make them feel so much better, and I really feel like there is some healing attributes to this soup because it's a homemade beef broth with some onion and celery and an apple and squash and carrot. So it is a Good for What Ails You soup. So here's a list of ingredients you're gonna need to make this Good for What Ails You soup.
You're gonna need 4 to 6 cups of butternut squash, half an onion, a peeled carrot, 1 celery, half of an onion, half of an apple, some lemon juice, 6 cups of chicken bone broth, 4 ounces of cream cheese, marjoram, adobo seasoning, turmeric, and some salt and pepper.
So we're going to get started. I have already cut up my squash, peeled and cut it up because it takes forever. This is a butternut squash, the weird shaped one. It's about, I'm gonna say 4 to 6 cups of cubed. I just cubed it up like you would for like mashed potatoes or whatever. So that is all done. I have 3 little carrots, but equivalent to like 1 carrot peeled. And we're just gonna dice it up, because what we're gonna do is we're gonna stew this, so it doesn't really matter. And at the end, we're going to puree it, so it doesn't really matter. You know me with onions. If you're watching my videos, I don't like tons of onions, but I do love the onion flavor. So this is about a half of an onion. We're gonna cut this all up. And this is all just gonna go in a pot. So there's that. 1 large celery, washed. And we're just gonna dice it up a little bit. Also gonna be adding to this is a peeled apple. Okay, if you keep hearing a beep, 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 beep in the background, that would be my wall oven. I think I really upset my oven yesterday with cooking 144 whoopie pies for a wedding. It's now error coding that the thermostat or the probe is not working, and I'm having a lot of trouble with this oven, and now it's really acting up. So yesterday, in the middle of me trying to cook all these whoopie pies, it literally just shut off, completely just shut off. But my husband tripped the breaker, reset it, and I was able to continue with my whoopie pie adventure. So anyway, back to my soup. So I'm sorry if you hear the beep. I'm gonna use a half of an apple. I don't think it really matters what type of apple. I have used the full apple in it before. The apple flavor was really, really strong, and I don't want it that strong, but I do want the flavor of a half apple. I peeled it, and we're just gonna dice it. Okay, so that is the base of our soup. Squash, a carrot, a celery, half an onion, and a half of apple. So we're gonna go over here and we're going to start sauteing it. Okay, let's get our oven going. Get a little butter to melt. And we're just gonna saute this till the onion gets a little translucent. So we're gonna start with the original base of most soups, carrots, celery, and onion. I'm just gonna saute this up. Add just a little bit of my house seasoning, salt, pepper, a little garlic. Okay, we're gonna let that do its thing and then we'll get back to you because it's gonna take a few minutes. Okay, it's been about 4 minutes. This has been sauteing. So now we're going to add in all of our squash and our half of apple. We're going to season that as well. Always want to season all our layers. Okay. I'm just going to get this all in here. And we're going to let this saute for about 5 minutes. Then we're going to throw it all together, let it sit and simmer. I'm going to say for a good 45 to an hour, so it gets all the flavors all married. Then we're gonna puree it, add some spices, and the best part is a little bit of cream cheese. Okay, so we'll be back in about 5 minutes. Once this all these guys get all together. Okay, it's been a good 5 minutes. And I think stuff is starting to get soft. They're all starting to marry with each other. It already smells delicious to me. Now, seriously, I've had mixed reviews with this soup. Either people absolutely love it or they hate it. And if they don't like it, it's usually a texture issue because it's a pureed soup. Some people, they just aren't prepared for it. The flavor is wonderful. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Adding spices now. This is, I think I'm gonna say it right, Marjoram. I love the flavor of this in the squash soup. I'll probably put some more on the top when it's done as well. A smidge of turmeric because it is have healing attributes to it and it will give it a nice yellow. I don't put a ton though. Okay. And I swear by this adobo all-purpose seasoning. It's what makes my squash soup. It just tastes so good. You have to do it. Okay, so that's it. No measurements really, just because it's hard to tell with your squash. Hopefully it's a good squash. The only way you're gonna find out if it's a good squash is once you cook it. Sometimes I have made this and the squash, was not good. So the soup wasn't good either. Okay. So, to this, I am adding about 6 cups of homemade chicken bone broth. Now, I just roasted a chicken a couple days ago, and I usually just throw after I pull all the meat off it, I put it in the crock pot with some water and carrots and celery and onions and just make a delicious bone broth. Let it sit for about 12 hours. It's very good for your stomach. So that's why I feel like the kids think this soup is very healing because it actually is. But if you do not have chicken bone broth, just get some chicken broth at the store. Okay, I'm gonna say about 6 cups. Okay. So everything is now in there. And now all we want to do is get all these vegetables cooked down really, really nicely. Okay? And I like to have it simmer for about 45 minutes to an hour just to really get these really soft. So when we do puree it, it's really smooth and delicious. So we will be back in about an hour and we're gonna puree this delicious soup up. And I think you're gonna like it. I know I love it. Okay, see you in about an hour. Okay, it's been almost an hour and it's starting to rain. It's perfect soup for today. Okay, it looks like everything has really softened up. Looks like it will really puree really well. So I am going to add just a little squeeze of lemon. Make sure the seeds don't go in. This just gives us a really fresh flavor. Squeeze of lemon. And I'm gonna start with 4 ounces of softened cream cheese. Now make sure it's nice and soft because it usually doesn't, I guess the word melt well when it's still really cold. So have it be room temperature while you're making your soup. So I'm gonna start with 4 ounces. Sometimes this is enough, sometimes you wanna add more. I just made a mess of this, but that's okay. Okay, I'm gonna wash my hands. So all we're gonna do is either you can put this in your blender, or if you have a immersion blender like this, I'm gonna shut the heat off. And we're just going to do it on low for just a few minutes to get it started. Come together pretty quickly. Just want to see if you could see, and it looks like you can see it pretty good. And I really like this extremely smooth. There's Murphy. I do not leave any chunks in here at all. But like I've always said, this is your kitchen. You do you. You make your soup the way you want it. Don't even blend it if you don't want to, and you just want to eat it all chunky. That's fine too. We had like a marriage conference at our church one year, and we had it catered, and this woman made this fabulous squash soup, and I fell in love with it. So of course I go home and try to make it myself, and then mess with the recipe, and this is how this really how this recipe came about. It looks like it's pretty good. I'm gonna give it one whirl with some on high just to make sure. Smells so good. Like I said, this is a mixed review soup. Either you love it or you hate it, and it's usually only because of a texture issue. But we'll see. You guys try it. I want to hear from you what you think of it. I need a soup thing. And I've always added a little bit of crumbled bacon on top. That's how my girls love it. So I am also going to add that to it. It's so pretty. This is a beautiful soup for fall time, like I said, or anytime really. It's raining out today, so it's a perfect day for this. Just a little bit here. Got a little bit of bacon on top. I made this bacon earlier for breakfast, so I'm just gonna put some on top. So pretty. This stuff out of the way here. Spoon. I'm going to taste it. It's so delicious. Need just a little bit of bacon too. So creamy. And all those flavors of those vegetables, but the squash is obviously the prominent flavor. Perfect. It's perfect, guys. Let me know if you try it. It is so yummy. Creamy, squashy. That little bit of sweetness from the apple really brings it out. So guys, sorry it's taken so long for me to get back to you, but I think this soup is worth it. I also have been looking at lots of other recipes that I want to do with you. And I'm hoping tomorrow I can make a video. I don't know when I can get it out, but I want to make a video. I saw this. It's called water pie. A depression pie that they made during the Depression era. And I really want to try it. So I'm going to try it with you guys. So I'm hoping tomorrow I can do that and get that video out probably for next week. But I'm going to get this one out soon. Hopefully tomorrow I will, or even tonight, I will get this out. So guys, as always, like, subscribe, get those subscriber numbers up. I'm about 520. I'd like to get to 1,000. Been doing this for over a year, so help me out a little bit. Get me some subscribers. Always give me a big fat thumbs up if you are liking the videos, and I will see you next week. So hit the bell button so you know every single time I post a video. See you guys. Try this. It's so yummy.